Life can be messy. You're working and saving for your retirement years, you're taking care of your family, but when do you actually start the retirement planning for your future? I'm here with financial advisor Bill Baier of Premier Planning Professionals to ask him just that question. In fact, Bill, I asked your partner Dave the same question. When should you consider retirement planning? I'm curious what your spin is.
My guess is he said, well, it's never too early or too late. The point is just to start the planning process, right? Mm-hmm. It almost becomes addicting because people generally enjoy it, and taking that first step into the planning process is kind of, a bit nerve-wracking. But
Yeah.
once you get into it, it's fun.
Well, speaking of nerve-wracking, it had to be nerve-wracking for you as the founder to take the leap to begin the firm, Premier Planning Partners. What was your motivation behind that? Was this driven by family? Was this driven? Were you always a numbers guy? Did you like helping people? What kind of kicked it off for you?
So with a degree in economics and finance, I kind of always had a knack for numbers. But what I realized when I got into the industry, and preface that by saying it came from an experience within my own family with my grandmother and watching her suffer through some long-term care battles and her finances not being properly planned. And I decided to get into a career really helping educate people, the ins and outs of the system, what's covered, what's not, and how to protect it from a wealth management and finance strategy. And that opened the door to really getting to really know people and comforting them through some challenging times in their life when money is kind of always at the center in some way or another.
Yeah, it's always nice to have things to plan for when you get that phone call, and I'm sure you have. Because as we say, personal finance, it's more personal than it is about finance. When somebody has lost a spouse or they just found out about a health event, but you've already put the plan in place and you know that they're going to be okay. I'm sure you've had phone calls like that, outside of your own family. And
Absolutely.
Now you're there to help.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of doing the written plan and having an evolving plan also, because even after we do the written plan, things happen, things change. So when clients call in and they say, hey, Bill, got bad news, so-and-so passed away, or hey, I've got great news, we've got a new addition to the family. And those are all different aspects that come into play of what gives me kind of the warm, fuzzy feeling to do what we do for a living.
Yeah. Bill, there's also a lot of folks, and I did ask this to Dave as well, but if you're feeling behind, if you're late 50s, early 60s and thought, I don't know if I've saved enough, I'm even worried to tell my spouse or to talk about it because it's just so overwhelming. Are there things that folks can do to catch up?
Absolutely. So the best part about the planning process is we're going to take a look at where you are now, and that's not where you have to be. So we can reverse engineer the numbers, and that's the best part about math, is we can pretty much figure anything out with almost certainty of how to get where you want to be or how you need to catch up, how much more you might need to, save for retirement, or if you could retire early.
Has retirement planning and just the retirement landscape changed even since the 20 years that you've been doing this in the industry?
Absolutely. There are so many more tools and strategies today. There's more opportunities than ever before to help people get on track.
Yeah. What are some of those tools? Because as a financial advisor, a lot of folks go, all right, portfolio management, they're going to manage investments. We're going to be talking about rates of return. He's going to be talking about economics because he's got a degree in it. What are some of the other things that round out financial planning for you?
So the obvious one is the portfolio management and return on investment, right? But the other things are lifestyle goals, legacy or charitable giving, the tax planning, Roth conversions, making sure you're leaving tax-free money behind, not affecting the premiums that could be increased because of your withdrawals, and then the estate planning piece, which is making sure all of this stays intact and goes exactly where you want it to go.
It sounds like a lot of things, and that sounds like a lot of things that, I don't know, could have extra costs. If you can just even talk in averages, where do you come when it comes to other financial managers, even folks 401ks? Are you much higher than those?
Sure. No, I would say that we're typically, usually less. As a fiduciary, we're not operating on commissions or upfront charges. So we're able to kind of pull all that holistic advice in the realm of that annual fee.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. And you guys are right. You know, the earlier, the better. But also, when it comes to your retirement planning, if you feel like you're behind, there's still a lot of moves to make. You can call the phone number down on the bottom of the screen, or you can set up a time to get together with the team here and get started on your own retirement test drive. Thank you so much, Bill Byer. Thank you so much for watching this video.